Do you feel like you never have time to do the things that you love? Like you don't even have time to listen to your body or to say no, or quite frankly, to say F off sometimes? Are you caught in that cycle of constantly working, cooking, cleaning, always doing something but never really being? You ever feel like you see your friends or your family and you're doing something you enjoy, but it becomes just another box on a to-do list to check off? Because same. And I finally decided that's not how I thrive, and I don't have to live that way. So in today's video, I want to share how I changed that. And hopefully by the end of this, you'll give yourself permission to rest, to do the things that you love, without guilt, without pressure, without forcing it or neglecting it. Because we all have the same 24 hours in a day. So what's your excuse? So today I want to talk about something really important, and that's my self-care routine. What I do to manage my anxiety, regulate my nervous system, and how I incorporate rest into a busy schedule. Because the truth is, there are things that I didn't do in active addiction, or even the first year or two after. It's something that's evolved over time, based on my mindset, based on my schedule, and honestly, trial and error. So a few years ago, I was fortunate enough to have been given time off from life. And that's how I word it now, because at the time it felt like I was failing. But looking back, losing my job and going through so much loss and panic and stress, it was actually God giving me time to be able to literally reinvent myself. And this came about a year after I had gotten sober. So it wasn't just about quitting drinking anymore. I was forced into a further rock bottom that taught me more than mountaintops ever would. I say that all the time. Rock bottom will teach you more than mountaintops ever will. So I used to be somebody who was a workaholic, a perfectionist, and a people pleaser. I never put myself first. And I was never taught how to practice self-love or self-care. I was running off of beliefs and systems that forced me into always saying yes, working multiple jobs, never sleeping, never fully resting, never giving myself permission to choose what I wanted to do, or to simply just take care of myself. The sobriety taught me other coping skills and tools to use instead of alcohol and substances. But that was just the first step. I really leaned into art and music and nature, taking baths, taking naps, but that wasn't enough. So now these days, I'm the most busy that I've been in probably 3 to 4 years, and I'm working a new job that isn't the same exact amount of hours every day. And you know what? I prayed for that, because I prayed for versatility and for variance and not having the same routine every day. And the last jobs that I had with that kind of routine, I literally would wake up and throw up every single morning from my anxiety. My anxiety never fully even went away. It just varied in levels. So I prayed for peace. I prayed to be able to do something different every day. And the truth is, I've always been a well-rounded, versatile, and unique person. I feel like I like a little bit of everything. And I really realized over the last few years that that's actually how I thrive. I have many interests and hobbies and things that I enjoy doing. And I want to be able to do them when I want to, not just fit them into my schedule. My goal and my dream in life is to be able to live this way. To be able to wake up and decide what I want to do based on how I feel. I don't want anything to be neglected, though. And I don't want anything to be forced. Because when it's forced, it feels like it's a to-do list or a task checklist. And it doesn't feel genuine or in the moment or aligned with the right energy. So I learned that I had been living in a way where my stress and my anxiety was the only energy that I was living off of. I didn't have any creative energy or loving energy or joyful energy. No energy for anything else, because I was so focused on just paying bills or dealing with imposter syndrome or doubt and fear about not having a job or making money and paying bills, what I gotta do. So it taught me something huge. if we're focused on something that stresses us out, even when we do rest, it's not actually rest. You're just sitting in your stress. We have to actually regulate our nervous system and practice that habit daily. And it takes time and it takes intention. So now what I feel like I do is I rely heavily on what I feel like doing that day. I make promises to myself and keep them, but I also give myself grace and patience that if I just don't feel like doing that today, then that's okay. Now, obviously, work is a different story. I have to show up at certain times no matter how I feel. And while that's something I'm navigating again, I'm grateful that it's not shift work either. Because in between jobs, I'm allowed to unmask instead of masking 8 to 12 plus hours straight every single day like I used to. Because that's where I felt drained and anxious the most. So now I take breathing breaks, or as I like to call them, like reset buttons. So whether that's taking a nap or watching a TV show, I allow myself to fully reset. And for me, that looks like in between jobs during the day. So try to find little pockets of time, is what I call it, to where you can just do something as simple as a breathing exercise or watch a show. Just completely unmask and kind of clock out for a minute. And doing that, even for 5, 10, 20 minutes, half hour, an hour, whatever time you have, it literally gives your nervous system a break. And then on my days off, I call them my F off days. That's when I sleep when I want. I eat when I want. I listen to and watch what I want when I want. Like if you see me eating ice cream at 8 a.m., F off. If you see me napping on the couch at 2 in the afternoon, F off. Catch my drift? It's almost like this silly little game that I play with myself that allows me to feel like a child or a teenager again. No responsibilities, just completely unmasking and doing exactly what my body needs. And on these days, sometimes I do art, sometimes I play video games, and sometimes I literally do absolutely nothing. And I'm not sitting there planning out my next day or my next week, because I set myself up prior to having that day off to be able to do no responsibilities, unless there's an emergency, of course, but it's really changed everything. And it's what helps me regulate and not feel constant pressure. Because I used to sit and try to rest, and then my mind would keep going about what I have to do the next day or trying to prepare so I have an easier tomorrow. And it's just not living in the present moment. And it's not letting your body catch up with your mind. It's taken years of practice, but I realized that this is what works for me. And especially on weeks like last week, I worked 13 days in a row. And that 14th day was my F off day. And I came back to work today and I feel like I have a completely different energy. I feel refreshed instead of anxious. So if there's one thing that I can offer for you in this video, it's permission. Permission to rest, permission to heal, and permission to listen to exactly what your body is asking for. Because real self-care isn't just bubble baths and face masks. It's about unlearning the systems that made you feel like you weren't even allowed to rest in the first place. So if this video resonated with you, please hit the like button, subscribe for more, share it with somebody who may need to hear it, and let me know what's your favorite self-care routine. Drop it in the comments below. And until next time, remember to stay kind to yourself. I love you, and I'm so proud of you. I'll see you in the next one. And until